the John Deere 9rx640. I was going to say something snarky here about it, like how it's the official tractor of 20-year-olds who join their family's farm and act like they've worked 50 years to build that farm up to be able to afford a $600,000 tractor. But I'm not, because that's not fair to the tractor. Tractor's super cool. So, anyway, here is the 9rx640 Prestige from Ertl and John Deere. Prestige worldwide for you guys that are, Step Brothers fans. Anyway, so if I don't know which one's getting posted first, the wheel version or the track version. I did a video on both. I think they warrant a separate video because there are, some differences between the two. And one of the things I didn't cover in the wheeled version that I should have, and it's actually something I made note of to cover in the wheeled version, and I just didn't, was that finally, look at that real steering wheel in there, fellas. Look at that in all of its glory. Yeah, that's beautiful. Nice job, Ertl. Seriously, that's awesome. We have needed that for ever, as opposed to the flat disc that we're used to getting. And we finally got it here with these John Deere Prestige tractors. Thank you guys at Ertl so much for that. If I did post the wheel version first, you will know that I think Ertl has knocked these out of the park. I think they're some of the best toy tractors ever made. And I know that's a big claim, right? But when you figure in the value of these, so let's call it $35. You might be able to pick them up for a little bit cheaper than that. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, four-wheel drive tractor is $35 now. Yeah, it is. It is, guys. Sorry, everything's expensive now. But I still think for the amount of detail, the amount of separate toolings that these tractors required, I think $35 is, you're getting a heck of a tractor here. So of course we've got the big tracks on this guy. Now I feel like this guy sits up maybe a little higher than the first 9RX we got. Now that could be completely my imagination, and I actually don't have one of the original 9RXs here to compare that with, so I apologize for that. Maybe the Winders brothers will do something like that, and if they haven't already made a video on this, maybe they'll watch this and they could compare ride heights and tell us for sure. They're awesome about picking out those little details like that. If you haven't checked out Winders Model Farms yet, you guys got to. They're awesome. So we get obviously the thing with John Deere is they've got the 3 and it's kind of taller as opposed to the somewhat shorter on the Case IH quad tracks. So technically not supposed to call the John Deere quad tracks, but you know what? 4 tracks are quad tracks. Sorry. Just the way it always will be. Same thing with the New Holland, same thing with the Versatiles. It's like sometimes name brand seeps so much into the culture that the name brand becomes what you call the thing. So I think that's kind of what's happened here with quad tracks. This thing's awesome, has a lot of the same features as the wheeled version. You see you've got your flashers here, your handrails. If you didn't see the wheeled version video, because I know this will be way more popular because it has tracks, one of the things that I was really pleasantly surprised with on this tractor was how these handrails are nice and thin, actually. Like, they're probably not to scale, but I don't think there's any way Ertl could make those to scale and have them pass safety standards, so to speak. And actually, I don't feel like they're that far off. I should get out my calipers and check, but I like them. I think they look wonderful on here, actually. I think they're really nice. And that takes one of the headaches out of customizing 9R tractors is the handrails, particularly this set right here. That just takes that away. So these are going to be an incredible base to customize. And I know Ertl doesn't want us to do that, and I know that's why Ertl is decking these tractors out so that we don't customize these too much. And, when you look at this guy, I don't know if you're just going to put this on your model farm or on your shelf. And if you're not one of those guys that are like, I'm going to National, and this tractor is going to be the most decked out tractor there, I don't know that you're going to do much to this particularly. Now, if you are, there's definitely stuff to do. I'll let you guys figure that out, or maybe we'll make something later on doing some custom work down the road. But Right now, oh, interesting, really interesting. So if you did see the wheel video, you will notice I had this same problem. The decal is pulling away from the grill on this light, and it's the exact same side. I find that really interesting. I wonder if all of them are like that. That's really interesting. What's nice is the grill has texture, so it's not just a big decal, and then you get this nice John Deere logo up there in the decal on the grill. And then one of the stars of the show are these really nice looking weights up front. So gone are those weird trapezoidal weights that we always got from Ertl, and here are really accurate, nicely done weights is the best thing to do. Now this does roll, decent. I mean, not particularly well, but honestly, there really aren't any tractors that roll really well in this day and age, and that's okay, as far as I'm concerned. Most guys that do displays, and particularly if they're doing like a display they're going to take to a show, they don't want their stuff to roll. And so a lot of guys, when I build for a display, they don't want the wheels to roll. They want them static so that it doesn't roll off the display at some point. So makes sense to me. Anyway, moving on, you got your nice handrail up here. Of course, you got your GPS unit and the really nice mirrors on the side with the reflective material. One thing I noticed, and I guess I just didn't realize this, actually I'm going to bring the wheel version down here too. Different handrails back here. I didn't really realize that those were separate. And in fact, the whole tank is separate, is different now. I guess that's never paid attention to that. So that's one of those details there, guys. So the RX has just a slightly different fuel tank than the 9R. And of course, you've got all of your hydraulic outlets here. And then, the most controversial part, as I said in the wheeled version video, is this drawbar. Because the hole doesn't seem to be big enough to put any Ertl implements on. So I guess that's, gotta be something. This 3-point move's actually a very large range of motion, even compared to the one on the 9R wheel version. So that's really nice. And then, of course, you've got the PTO box and PTO there. What's kind of nice about the track versions is the fenders don't hide all of your cylinder rams and all that. So you can see that detail on these as well. So really cool, I think. Where on the wheel version, the fenders and tires kind of hide those a little bit. No big deal, but that's the way it is in the real one. But I just think it's neat that you kind of get the extra view, and it almost looks a little odd. It almost looks like it's sticking out there in space a little bit because of how that is, but it's super cool that you can see that. This articulates rather well, I think. Pretty good. The wheel version does too. I didn't really mention the articulation in the video, but it does pretty decent. But the track version does really well, I think, and so that's always something to be happy about. Something that they got right. And the interior is nice. I won't say the cab glass is a little, I don't know what I want to call it. Like, it's not clear, right? Like, I don't know if you guys can see that. There's like a little bit of haze or fog or something to it. I don't know. I didn't notice that on the other one, but it may be on the wheel 9R, but maybe it is too. I don't know that, I'm knocking points off anything for that, but like I said, we do get the flat steering wheel, or the real steering wheel versus the flat steering wheel in there, and you got your monitor up here. You can see right there. So, all in all, guys, I know everybody's worried about the increasing price of farm toys, the increasing price of everything. We're kind of, I don't want to say we're all in the same boat, but we're definitely all in the same river. And I just think, with gas prices and everything else, a lot of us are going to have to probably pick and choose what we get. I think these two tractors, the track version and the wheel version, even though they're in the neighborhood of probably $8 to $10 more, maybe $7 more than they would have been a previous iteration of these, they are so much more detailed, and they really did an excellent job on these. So I think, to me, I feel like it's worth it from a collector standpoint and from a farm toy display guy standpoint. I think these are incredible models. So anyway, I hope you agree. I'd love to hear what you guys think down below in the comments. So And which you going with? You going with the wheel version or the track version? Got a couple options here if you're a John Deere fan. So I think they're both awesome. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Always appreciate it. Have yourselves an awesome day, and happy tractor hunting.